Edward James's Surrealist legacy. The eccentric patron who lived the dream. Edward Frank Willis James, 1907 to 1984, was a British poet, heir to a vast railway fortune, and one of the most important patrons of Surrealism in the 20th century. He never formally joined the movement, yet he immersed himself so completely that Salvador Dali once claimed both of them had been Surrealists from birth. James did not merely collect art. He collaborated, commissioned, housed, and ultimately embodied surrealism in total environments that blurred the line between life and imagination. From aristocrat to avant-garde midwife. Born at West Dean House in Sussex, with persistent rumors that King Edward VII was his godfather or even more, James inherited the 8,000-acre estate and significant wealth young. Educated at Eton, Le Rosey, and Oxford, where he published John Betjeman's first poems, he moved in bright young thing circles before turning decisively toward the irrational. In the mid-1930s, he met Dali in Paris through socialite Marie-Laure de Noailles. From 1937 to 38, he signed a contract to purchase Dali's entire output in exchange for a generous stipend, effectively becoming the artist's primary financial backer during a crucial creative period. He watched over the creation of Metamorphosis of Narcissus, 1937, like a midwife, and even took the painting to Sigmund Freud in London. Iconic collaborations with Dali. James and Dali co-conceived two of Surrealism's most recognizable objects. The Lobster Telephone, 1936 to 38, a working telephone with a plaster lobster receiver, produced in multiple versions, white, aphrodisiac, and brightly painted. James ordered 11 of them for his homes. The Mae West Lips Sofa, 1936 to 38, a scarlet sofa shaped exactly like the Hollywood star's lips, inspired by Dali's earlier painting Mae West's face, which may be used as a surrealist apartment. Executed by Green and Abbott for the dining room at Monckton House. Other joint inventions included champagne glass standard lamps, a hands chair, and elements for the 1939 dream of Venus Pavilion at the New York World's Fair. Magritte and the Mirror of Identity. In early 1937, James hosted René Magritte for 3 weeks at his London townhouse on Wimpole Street. He commissioned enlarged or modified versions of key works, On the Threshold of Liberty, the Red Model, The Youth Illustrated, intended to be installed behind backless mirrors. Magritte also painted 2 haunting portraits of James, not to be reproduced, 1937. The famous image of James seen from behind, his reflection in the mirror also showing the back of his head, with a book by Edgar Allan Poe on the mantel. The Pleasure Principle, portrait of Edward James, 1937. James's head radiating light. James also supported Leonora Carrington, Pavel Chelichu, Leonore Feeney, Max Ernst, and others, and helped fund the lavish surrealist magazine Minotaur. Living Surrealism, Monckton House. James's most complete surrealist statement in Britain was Monckton House, a 1902 Lutyens shooting lodge on the West Dean estate. Finding the arts and crafts style too cottagey, he transformed it between 1935 and 1939 into what has been called the only complete surrealist house ever created. Features included padded walls, wet paw print carpets, purple exterior paint, mock bamboo downpipes, a Nelson Hurst bed, planetary bathrooms, plaster aprons on windows, and the famous Lips sofas and lobster telephones. It functioned as a total environment, a Gesamtkunstwerk of the unconscious. Las Posas, a surrealist garden of Eden in the jungle. In the 1940s, James discovered the subtropical rainforest near Xilitla, San Luis Potosí, Mexico. From 1949 until his death, he poured millions, partly funded by selling parts of his collection, into Las Posas the Pools, an 80-acre sculpture garden of more than 80 towering concrete structures up to 4 stories high. Named with playful absurdity, the house on 3 floors, which will in fact have 5 or 4 or 6. The staircase to heaven. The forms mimic orchids, mushrooms, and organic growth, interwoven with waterfalls, pools, bridges, and paths. Left deliberately unfinished, it is pure environmental surrealism, architecture that refuses function and dissolves into nature. Today, Las Poses is a protected cultural heritage site and major tourist attraction, with a nearby Museo Edward James collection, dispersal, and enduring influence. By the outbreak of World War II, James owned one of the finest private surrealist collections in the world. Works by Dali, Magritte, Picasso, Ernst Carrington, de Chirico, Klee, Giacometti, and many others. Much was later sold, notably at Christie's after his death, to endow the Edward James Foundation and West Dean College, which he founded in 1971 to preserve traditional crafts and conservation skills he feared would vanish. Remaining works are held by institutions including the Tate, MoMA, Vanda, Art Institute of Chicago, and the West Dean Collection itself. James's true legacy is the idea that surrealism need not stay on the canvas. He turned houses, gardens, and even his own life into living experiments in the marvelous. In an age of mass production and rationalism, his insistence on the handmade, the irrational, and the poetic continues to resonate. Most visibly at West Dean College and in the fantastical concrete jungle of Las Poses, where the dream still grows among the orchids and waterfalls.